Hey, what's up gamers? You have TigerChainsaw here. Do you ever play a game where all the critics say it's terrible? They say it's not worth playing. And then you play it for yourself and you discover this isn't a bad game and that the critics got it wrong. Well, today I am reviewing one of those games. That game is going to be 2010's Calling on the Wii. It is a horror Japanese game that I discovered, and nobody talks about this game, and so I thought I would give it proper time in the spotlight with a proper review. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button, as I have plenty of retro video game reviews already done and plenty on the way. Now, I hope you like scary games and Japanese horror, because we are about to pick up that phone and calling for this review. In 2010, Hudson Entertainment developed and published Calling for the Wii. This horror adventure featured 4 playable characters as they explored an abyss in hopes of solving the mystery of how they got there and how to calm down the angry spirits that haunt them. Calling features great motion controls from the Wii and an innovative way to use the controller, but does the confusing plot and jump scares pay off? We are here to pick up the phone for this Calling review, starting with the plot, and spoilers are ahead. Calling's plot revolves around 4 separate characters who are all sucked into a purgatory-like dimension called the Mnemonic Abyss. These people have been brought here by the Black Page, an internet rumor site that is cursed. Are you familiar with the term creepypasta? It's the dark rumors and spooky superstitions that originate on the internet. That's a real term, but it perfectly describes the vibes of the Black Page in Calling. On the Black Page, visitors can connect to a chat room and speak to strangers. Some visitors to the Black Page are then transported to another dimension, as they are called to the darkness for various reasons. Calling features 4 main characters who have been sucked into the Mnemonic Abyss. Let's take a look at the characters in Calling. Rin. She's a 21-year-old responsible and confident college girl. Some might say she is a little bit overconfident at times. 6 years ago, she made a promise to a girl that she met in a chat room. She promised that no matter what, they would meet in person. Before they could meet, the mysterious girl vanished. Rin has searched for her ever since. She thought the Black Page might give her some clues about the girl's whereabouts and accessed the site. Shin. He's a 17-year-old high school student who loves anime and the occult. He learned about the Black Page from an article in his favorite occult magazine. Now, he's really into anime, and he loves collecting action figures, but some might consider him kind of a loser. Chio. She's a 67-year-old grandmother who likes to surf the web. Seeing her struggle after the death of her husband from 5 years ago, Chio's grandson gave her a laptop. While exploring the internet, Chio heard rumors about a website that lets you meet the dead, bringing her to the Black Page. Makoto. He's a passionate 34-year-old man unafraid of danger. An editor at a publishing company, his colleague mysteriously died. He started to investigate his death, and his research led him to the Black Page. Now, you'll play as all 4 of them, although Rin is the main character. Calling can become a little bit confusing if you don't pick up all the pieces to the plot, but let me do my best to give you a short summary with an opinion on the overall tones of the game. First, let me introduce you to Riko. She's a little girl who has a terminal illness and is placed in a hospital. Her mother gives her a cell phone so they can keep in touch throughout the day, but as the weeks go on, her mother stops visiting and taking her calls altogether, making Riko depressed and unwanted. Riko begins to visit online chats and starts a friendship with Rin. The two chat regularly, and Rin promises to meet Riko in person. Riko's nurse, Kayoko, is a motherly figure to the sick girl and worries about her overall health as it declines due to the depression from the abandonment of her mother. Kayoko does her best to comfort Riko, but it's no use. Instead, Riko takes comfort with an elderly man at the hospital who turns out to be Chio's husband, but he ends up passing away. Again, this upsets Riko and causes her to count on Rin's visit to cheer her up. Rin makes her way to the hospital to see Riko, but just as she is a block away from the hospital, she's hit by a garbage truck and is put into a coma. Riko is devastated, thinking that Rin stood her up, and ultimately, she commits suicide by jumping out of a window and is transformed into an angry spirit. Shin, Chio, and Rin are all sucked into the mnemonic abyss and are haunted by Riko's spirit as they try and find a way out. Makoto enters the abyss to search for his detective partner who died mysteriously. He's much less afraid of everything and is only concerned about discovering the truth behind his partner's death. Makoto ends up finding his partner, but is actually killed by him and is stuck in the abyss. Now, there are two different endings to Calling. One has Rin and Riko becoming stuck in the abyss together in Riko's angry state, and the other has Rin calming down the spirit of Riko and returning to the real world. You'll need to play through Calling twice to get the better ending. Now, I want to talk about the overall tones and theme of Calling as it really touched me. There's an obvious overtone of loneliness and the crippling feeling that it can inflict on people and the desperate measures they go to avoid it. The super nerd was looking for friends online to share his passion for anime because he clearly didn't have real life friends. The elderly woman missed her deceased husband and wanted to reunite with him in the afterlife. Makoto searched for his fellow detective, not wanting to continue his career without him. Many of the users who log onto the Black page seek friendship through the chat. The little girl was abandoned by her mother in the hospital and wanted attention and companionship. When the promise to meet between Rin and her is broken, she passes away in an angry and hopeless manner that has her spirit haunting the hospital. Calling deals with the serious emotions and natural feelings that humans get when they become lonely. It just goes to show you that from time to time, we all get lonely. As a Japanese horror game, you can expect a few tropes in Calling. First, there are plenty of jump scares, which can be a lot for my heart to handle. Now, there wasn't an overabundance of them, but they did keep me on the edge as I explored throughout the game. Japan loves schoolgirls, and they love creepy dead schoolgirls almost as much. You'll see plenty of ghosts and spirits of young girls who have decided to haunt the school in which you start at. To help see these spirits and explore your way out, you'll have a flashlight. This tool is a must as it's far too dark to explore without it. The controls for the Wii handled well as the motion of your controller guided the direction of the light as you walked forward. Some motion control games are garbage, but Calling on the Wii worked pretty well. The controller also acts as your cell phone, and to answer it, you'll have to hold it up to your ear. I loved this aspect and thought it was clever as there was a built-in speaker to the controller. Throughout the game, you'll take calls from ghosts who will tease and haunt you via the phone as you make your way through the game. Now, the gameplay has you starting out in one area and needing to escape. You'll be in schools and hospitals and you need to find clues in how to move forward or progress the game. Ghosts can grab a hold of you and increase your heartbeat meter. This is essentially the scare meter, and if it goes up too much, you presumably have a heart attack and die. You can decrease the meter by running away and hiding from the ghosts, but I actually didn't struggle too much to keep it down. When the ghosts do grab you, you are supposed to shake the Wii remote wildly to shake them off. It works, but sometimes you really have to work to shake those clingy ghosts. My least favorite section was a mandatory one near the end of a level. There will be ghosts that automatically grab you. You'll need to shake them free while pushing numbers into the cell phone and calling out. It was the most difficult part of the game, and it did take me a few tries to complete it. The key was memorizing the number to dial instead of constantly looking at the note and then the cell phone. Overall, it was about a 3-minute portion where you had to be near perfect to leave the level. Now, to help move along the plot, there are typical cutscenes, which were little treats to me between the horror adventures. Complementing the scenes were text messages depicting more of the story. Sometimes it was a little bit long to read, but I didn't mind it as it did give me more insight into the plot. While there are ghosts and spirits to haunt you, there were other spooky elements to keep your heart racing. One instance was a complete ripoff of the Saw puppet on a bike. It slowly pedaled towards you before running out of batteries. There was also some creepy dolls that would be lined up around the walls. Now, I'm not scared of dolls or puppets, so I wasn't too spooked, but some people might be freaked out. Most elements surrounding the plot of Calling are creepy, but one aspect was bittersweet and sad. When you play as the old woman, it's clear that she just wants to be with her husband again and is wandering around trying to find him. Her portions of the game weren't really creepy, but just depressing. There's a section where she's in a forest full of spirits walking, and she spots her husband. She desperately tries to chase him, but can't quite keep up. It's a sad moment, and it made me feel for the character and her love for her spouse. Not all things in Calling are sinister. Voice acting for Calling is not a strong suit. Some characters are fine, but others, like the male doctor, borderline on cringe and comical.
Yes, it's very important to have friends that are your age.
The character arcs are for the most part adequate, but some characters, like the super anime nerd, don't have much of an impact on the overall plot. You'll play as 4 different characters like I said, but for the majority of the game, you'll be Rin. I didn't have much difficulty progressing. Either a new door would become unlocked, or I'd find a key item by thoroughly exploring a room. You'll need to find certain items to trigger the next events. If you do get stuck, there are numbers that you can dial on the cell phone to give you hints or direct you toward a certain area to go. Save points are scattered throughout the levels in the form of black cat statues. They have glowing eyes, so they're easy to spot. Whenever I'd see one, I'd rush over to it, eager to save my progress. Now, as I mentioned in the plot, Calling can be played multiple times, and you'll need to do that in order to receive the true ending. I enjoyed my time with it, but after I beat it the first time, I really didn't see the point in replaying it again. I'm not too sure if there are different things in the second playthrough. I would imagine that, but I didn't do it. Although I did look up the true ending on YouTube. Even if I didn't do it, it's a nice option for those who seek another playthrough with potentially some new elements. Calling has received a lot of negative scores, but I don't think they're warranted. There are solid horror elements to this game, including classic Japanese horror tropes. When I played this, there were times that I gripped my controller in fear of what was going to pop out behind a door or a window. Overall, Calling offers a lot of replayability, but a confusing plot hinders what could be a great horror game. Definitely give it a shot if you're up for some creepy gameplay, but go in with low expectations and you'll find yourself having more fun than expected. The critics didn't care for Calling, but for me, I'm giving Calling a 6.5 out of 10. That means it's an average horror game, but for people that own the Wii or that people that love horror games or Japanese horror, I highly encourage you guys to seek this out and play it. I thought the motion controls really worked well with the cell phone and the flashlight. It all comes together to make a solid game. So that was my review of Calling that came out in 2010 for the Wii. What other hidden gems are there for the Wii? What other games do you love that the critics got wrong and said sucked? For me, I think Calling is very much worth playing and very much worth owning, especially if you have a Wii. So drop me a comment below on your thoughts on Calling and if you want to play it now. And of course, leave your thoughts and opinions on some games that the critics got wrong. And of course, while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to watch plenty of retro video game content. Happy gaming, thanks for watching, and make sure you play a video game today.